Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Zebu Nation Plays Football Manager 2017. This is our American Manager in London series. I've taken over my uncle's brand new squad in the fine city of London. And there's been some changes. We just finished the off-season. And we've made a couple of moves, or at least the board has made a couple of moves. They've done a couple of things. First of all is I asked them to improve the youth facilities, and they've agreed to do that. So they're in the current process of improving our youth facilities. That's going to be completed in a couple of months here. In about 4 months, they're going to have that completed. But also, on their own, they sort of decided that we needed a new stadium. So they got together with the city. They got a big loan, and they're building a new stadium right now as we speak. It's not going to be available until 2018, but that is a very good sign for our club. It means people are investing in our club. The board thinks that we're moving in the right direction, so I think that's all good stuff. But in the meantime, we've had to move shop. We've had to, check out our facilities. We've had to move to Underhill Stadium in London. I'm not exactly sure where this is, but apparently it's a stadium that's been around for quite a while. It's a 6,000 seat stadium, so that's a big jump up from our previous stadium. And one of the reasons why we had to get a new stadium was because our old stadium, which, let's face it, it was just a sort of a trumped up training ground. My uncle built it out behind his factory, not really up to specs for moving up the ladder. So this stadium, this Underhill Stadium, will let us meet the requirements of the Vanarama South, Champions League South, and also our new stadium will also meet that, although our new stadium will be about half the size of Underhill. But I don't know if we're going to end up filling Underhill anyway, because our team is still a pretty obscure club. We have sold 100 season tickets, though. I mean, that's not great, but it's decent. It's a start, right? We've got 100 supporters at least. Hopefully they each bring, a friend, and then we'll have at least 200 people. But who knows? I'm sure as we win, as we go through the season, we'll start to pick up more fans, hopefully. Let's see. Anything else board related? They've got high confidence in me right now, 58%. You can see they're enjoying my transfers. After surveying opinion, supporter spokesperson Steve Higginson feels that the fans are pleased with the business you are doing. So they're taking their key from the fans. The fans are happy. They're happy with our club philosophies. The board is very pleased with how you're performing and keeping up to agreed philosophies. Basically, our philosophies are sign young players to the first team, develop young players, and not much else. Maybe play possession soccer or something like that. I don't know. Club finances, they're content. We're just barely over the payroll. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then squad harmony, they're happy with the pleasant atmosphere emanating from the locker room. Interesting phrasing, but we'll leave it at that. So yes, this is one of my managing styles. I always try to keep the players happy, keep them playing well. Then you don't get player revolts and all this kind of stuff that can derail your season. So harmonious squad is a squad that plays well, in my opinion. So let's see, anything else board-wise, financial-wise? As you can see here, our payroll is $134,000. We're committed right now to $140,000, and we'll probably sign a little bit more over that. But we have the transfer budget, so we can sort of make budget adjustments and give back some of our transfer money to keep our payroll high, or higher than the board wants. Because I don't really see us using that transfer money, because right now there are so many players available at our level that are just available out on the market for free. I think we've been able to fill our team so far, We'll see. I'll try to keep some transfer money around for the mid-season, because if we hit a dip, if we hit a lull, we just can't seem to win in the Vanarama South, I might go out and get somebody. But we'll see about that. Profits and losses, this is all kind of a mystery to me sometimes. I'm not sure always how to generate more revenue. We do have a few sponsorships, but they're not much, honestly. Total value 19,000, 19,000, 65,000, which is decent, and 6,000. So, back of the jersey sponsorship is not great, but I guess that's to be expected. Let's see. I guess that's all the board and club business. Let's move on to our staff. We've hired some staff. We have the head coach, obviously, that's me. We've got an assistant coach. We've got a head of youth development, but we've only been allowed one more coaching slot. I'm trying to find a goalkeeping coach because I think that's very important. Either that or a fitness coach, one of the two. But right now we're going to focus on goalkeeping coaches. If I can't find anyone who's decent, then we'll stick with the fitness coach. I've got an advert out for the goalkeeping coach. We'll see. I've got 3 scouts. I had a chief scout and 2 Indian scouts. I don't know what you call them. Junior scouts, I suppose. They're not very good, but they're at least warm bodies who can go out and look for people, and that's what I use them for. My philosophy is I send the scouts out. They find some people. If anybody looks interesting, I bring them in on a trial. And then I can take a look at them myself because my coach has better scouting abilities than my scouts do. So once I get my eyes on them and I can look at them, then I can judge their talent and decide whether or not to side them. That's kind of how I built this team. And then finally we got one head physio. He's not real good. He's on a month-to-month contract at the moment. So I've got some adverts out for more physios. I want to have these 2 positions filled with senior people so that we can take care of our lads when they get injured. And speaking of the lads, we'll take a look at our team. Here's the first team, how it's set up so far. Now I'm going to be going with my tried and true formations, the formations that I built my success on in FM16. So we're going to see how those work here in FM17, see if I can continue that success. And the number 1 formation that I used was the 4-4-2 diamond. I like this formation. The only problem with it is it requires a very special kind of fullback. It requires a fullback who can run up and down, the full length of the field, can cross the ball, and still yet get back on defense. And a lot of times, you'll find fullbacks who can do one or the other, who can either get forward or stay back. But for this formation, you need fullbacks who can do both. So, if I can't find those guys, I'm going to have to switch to some other formations or just sort of deal with being a very defensive team, one of the two. Right now it's looking defensive, but we'll see. Speaking of defensive, the defensive midfielder is very important in this formation. That's one of the reasons why I pick it. I enjoy having a defensive midfielder there to clean up any of the trouble there in front of the defensive line. And then I also enjoy the advanced midfielder because he connects our midfield with the strikers, and I feel like that lets us move the ball up the field, up the pitch. And, it leaves us vulnerable on the wings, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Now let's look at our squad a little bit. It's not a full team yet. We have a ton of guys still on... I just had the word, not on loan, they're on trial, which is such a weird thing to say. I understand what it is, but just say someone's on trial, it means like they're in court to me. But anyway, so we've got to decide which of these trial players to sign. Right now, this is our starting lineup. We've got a young goalkeeper, Carl Hanks, only 17 years old. He's very sort of average at the moment. He's got good handling. He's got good fitness, jumping, good physical stats. He's 6'3", So he's a guy who's going to grow and get better, and I think we just have to put him in there and hope he gets better. Because right now he's not great, but he doesn't have any glaring weaknesses, so he's okay, other than eccentricity. But it's still sort of dubious where that helps you. I'm sure it helps you on stopping penalty kicks, but other than that, I don't know where it helps you. Then fullback, the positions that I've been talking about, we're struggling here. We have Jack North, who's a decent defensive fullback, but he's got no offensive abilities whatsoever. It's very disheartening to look at this guy's offensive stats. Yeah, so I'm going to look to replace him if possible. And that's the kind of thing I might have to go out and get a transfer for. If I find the right guy, I'll go pay money for him. That's fine, because that's how important that position is to this formation. Then we have a recent signee here, Jack Humphrey. He's got a lot of potential. Our coaches are really high on him. They're giving him 4.5 stars. But honestly, he's not that great. His heading is good. His marking, his tackling, fine. Jumping reach, not what I want. Strength, not great. He's 6'2". I think his big thing right now is potential. So we'll keep an eye on him. We've got other options at central defense, so we don't have to rely on this guy, and that's good. Keenan Layton, another central defender, another guy who's just kind of okay. Only 5'11", very strong though. Well, not very strong, but stronger than a lot of people on my team. Decent pace, jumping reach again, not great. So we've got work to do all over the field on defense, both fullback and central defense. And then our left fullback is an interesting character because he's got the offensive skills we're looking for. He's got pace, he's got fitness, he's got acceleration, he's got that crossing ability that I really like. The other thing he's got tackling. He's very high on tackling. 12 tackling is pretty good. And that's what this offense needs, is because I rely on counterattack is how I play. So I need a team that can tackle well, get the ball, get it upfield, make the crosses, do all that counterattacking sort of stuff. So I'm excited about this guy. He's only 18 years old. He's got some potential, but right now he's not the best dude. But he's not very strong. Stamina is not good. Jumping reach is pretty decent for a fullback. Balance is not good. But I got high hopes for Sam Stewart, so I'm probably going to play him most of the season. Then defensive midfielder, I went out and I grabbed the best young defensive midfielder that I could find in the country of England. He's not great, but he's the best we got. Again, he's 6'3". He's got good pace, good jumping ability, pretty good tackling, decent tackling anyway, above average, we'll say, tackling. Decision making is okay. Work rate is okay. He's a guy, again, we're hoping he gets better because he's the best guy we could find. So we really got no options other than McGann George here, Kieran. And our midfield is a little bit in flux. We're looking at options here. We've got Downey, Adams, and Ward. All of these guys are interesting players. They can do some interesting things, but they're not exactly irreplaceable. So if we can find some better guys, then we'll be okay. Again, we're very young, 18 years old, and 22 years old. But what we've got guys with technique, guys with tackling, not a ton of aggression, so hopefully we'll not have so many penalties. But each of these guys bring a little something. They're not great, but they're serviceable at the moment. And then striker, we're still looking at strikers. We got a lot of strikers in right now that we're taking a look at. But right now we've settled on Yates and Room. Yates is our advanced forward. He's our attacker, our goal scorer. He's got 14 finishing, 12 pace, 13 acceleration. So he's a guy that we just want to get him in front of the net, give him the ball, and let him score. He doesn't do a heck of a lot else. Heading not great, first touch not great, passing not great. strength not great. So we just need to get him open, get him the ball, and let him score. That's Mr. Yates's job. Then we got our target man, Oliver Room here, 19 years old. He's only 6 feet tall. He's only got 9 strength, so he's not the greatest target man in the world. He's got good pace and fitness and acceleration, agility, 13 heading, which is very interesting. So maybe he can, score on some of those crosses, head it into the net, because his finishing isn't great. So we've got him set up as a support man, again, whose job is to get the ball to Yates. Even though his passing is not great, we're hoping is what we're doing. We got guys on trial who I think can fill those roles if we sign them. But again, these are probably guys who are going to cost us money, because most of our other guys don't cost us money. We got a lot of guys, as you can see here, on amateur contracts, youth contracts. So we're not paying a lot of money for these guys. And we've got our under 18 squad, similar. Guys with lots of potential, guys who we aren't paying any money for. Same with our under 23s. Dan Adams, what's he doing there? Okay, he's dual purposing at the moment. I still don't understand that. Also, why some guys show up on both lists. Maybe I've got them set that way. I haven't figured that out yet. I've never had an under 23 team or an under 18 team before. I've had an academy team in the MLS, but that's way different than under 18s or under 23. Like, you can't just move back and forth between an academy team. So this is different for me. This is all new. I'll figure it out. So right now we've been playing a few friendlies just to sort of get things rolling. In the off season, we played a bunch of friendlies. When we brought guys in on trial, we had some off season friendlies to just so we can scout our own players, basically. But now, with the season looming, we started playing a few other friendlies. We're 3-1, so that's okay. We beat Balham, Forest Hill, and Kensington. We lost to AC London 0-2. That was kind of a disappointing game. We tried a different formation. We tried the 4-3-3 in that formation, and we got a little wacky there. And AC London took advantage of some of our mess ups. But now we've got sort of an imposing force here that we're going up against. We're going up against Brentford. Let's take a look at old Brentford. They are in the Sky Bet Championships, which is a couple of divisions higher than us. Not exactly 100% sure where that is. Let's take a look at England, see if we can see their divisions here. Let's see. Yeah, so they're much higher than us. Very, very. So here we are down here in the National League. And are they Sky Bet Championship or Sky Bet League 1-2? They're Sky Bet Championship. So they're right below the Premier Division. So we're in trouble here. I mean, this is one of our money games where we're hoping to get, I think we're getting like $10,000 for this one. So we should have a good crowd. We should have, we should struggle. So take this with a grain of salt. Hopefully it doesn't represent how the quality of our team this season. I take a drink of water. LanUK are really going to struggle to contain Brentford today. I'm predicting a Brentford win by a big, big margin. All right. Good for you. Here we are. Typical 4-4-2 diamond. They're getting a little bit aggressive here. The 4-2-3-1 wide attacking formation here. So we're probably going to go into counterattack mode, which is what we do. They got a fullback who's looking very feisty down there. Let's take a look at the players. Let's see if we got any advice from our coach. Our coach is very aggressive with his advice here. Okay. This is what I like to do. I like to close down on midfielders, and I guess I'm going to close down on their fullbacks too, because their fullbacks look to be fairly aggressive. So they are coming all out to get us. So I think counterattack will work against these guys, or it has a potential to work. All right, this is your chance to impress and win some positions. All right, so we got a little bit of motion out of that. So there we are, counterattack. Discipline, stick to positions. That's how I like to play. We won't go direct straight off the bat. So here's our, is this Underhill Stadium? I don't think this is. I think this is their stadium. I can't tell. No, we're in the whites, so we're home. I've just never seen a crowd this big. Oh, that's because they're all away fans. That's hilarious. So yes, we've got our traditional white jersey with the blue stripes and the blue shorts. I hope we got our blue shorts on. Sometimes they mix in the white shorts, which I don't think looks quite as good. But obviously we're not getting any highlights, and that might be good. Oh, here we go. Yates. Oh, what is this? Okay. We almost had a highlight there. Yates got the crap tackled out of him. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get the steal. Get the steal. You're going to hear me yelling that nonstop every match. Oh, what a shot. Wow. So Lewis McLeod with a cannon shot. And this is one of our young goalkeepers' problems, is his aerial reach is not that good. So shots like this, upper corner, anything like that, he's not good at. So down 1-0, and they get a corner. Oh, that's no good. Wow, that was too easy. That was too easy. So we could be in for a brutal afternoon here if we can't do better than this. Oh boy, another corner and another header win. So, our defense is really, really disappointing at the moment. We need to work on our aerials. It's just so bad. Look at all these fans, man. Never seen so many fans. Must be why we're getting so much money for this match. That's what happens when you actually get fans at your game. All right, now they got a free kick. All right, here we go. Counterattack. George, my man. No, that didn't work. Here we go. We still got the room for the counterattack. North, what are you up to? This is not your forte. Give the ball up. Give it up. Come on. Nope, not good. Oh, what a steal by Downey. To Ward. Ward is one of our most high-priced guys. We call him Mr. Money. North again. We're fighting here. George, Adams. Oh, there's a slick pass. Come on, cross it, my man. Cross it, even though you're no good at crossing. And we get it stolen. And they get a breakaway. This is no good. Our young goalkeeper. Did he make the save? Did he save that? Or did the guy just miss it? He does come well out of his goal. That's a problem with him as well. But he made the save that time, so you can't. Oh, and another save. Another save for a youngster. This is why he's in there. He's in there because he can make those kind of saves, as long as those saves are not above his head. Hey, look at that. George actually stopped a cross for once. That's good. Okay. There we go. There's a steal. So, our midfield is playing well. Our midfield is defending well. I think our problem is we're just giving up possession too much. Ward again. Downey. Give it back to Ward. Nope. Yep, there it is. Let's see what we got. We got nothing. So we got a lot of ball winners in the midfield. A lot of guys who will be aggressive and go after the ball, which is what we want. But against a team that's just better than us, I don't know how that's going to work. There's our fullback missing. There's a cross and a header, and no good. 4-0. This is the kind of defeats that we've worried about But when you go up against a team that's so much better than you, it's kind of to be expected. Vibe. That's an interesting name to judge. And the goal. We don't need to see the rest of that. So second half, we might want to just sort of control the pace and maybe play defensive. I don't know. We don't want to lose like 8-0. Yeah, Adams and Rooms have made a lot of mistakes. Okay, that's fine. They'll be replaced shortly. I expect to see much better showing in the second half. Instructions. Let's go defensive. Let's retain possession. No, let's not do that. Let's just do this. See how that goes. Make a comment. Oh, I already did. Oh, you can comment now strictly to defenders. Strictly. All right, defenders. Assertively. I'm disappointed with your defensive efforts. Oh, that did hurt some feelings there. Seemed demotivated. Looked to switch off. All right. Midfielders. You know what? I was impressed with how you controlled the midfield. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. And strikers. Passionately. Show me why you should be on the team. Okay. So that was a fairly disastrous halftime talk. I've never done those individual talks before, and I would probably never do them again. But here we go. Downey, that was an errant pass, my man. You gotta work on that. The other thing is, we're having trouble with match fitness right now because I've been swapping so many players in and out trying to find the best combinations. We almost stopped that. That was good, I guess. Look at the crowd they've got. That's like more fans than I've had all season. But, yeah, so not only are we not as good as this team, we're also not very match fit. So our guys are still making a lot of dumb mistakes. And that doesn't help. 5-0. Alright. Let's make some substitutions. Uninterested. Alright, we'll get rid of North because he's got that yellow card. We shall get rid of Leighton because he's uninterested. Downey is uninterested. Our backup defensive midfielder is not the greatest dude in the world. Kopic, 20 years old. Got good passing and tackling and strength, but yeah, he's not that bad. What am I talking about? Not that bad at all. He's a fine ball winner. That's good. I guess we're kind of replacing our whole midfield here. Downey looks uninterested. Adams, uninterested. Mazzone, replacing Money Man Ward. Let's see if these are good positions for these guys. Nope, central midfield. And support is good. This guy, central midfield, good. This guy, central midfield, good. Is he a defender? No, he's an attacker. And then advanced playmaker is good. Attacking is good. Let's see here. Room has been struggling. Do we have another target man? Yes, we do. So we'll put in Tuki Tiali. Right now, he's got my favorite name. Tuki. All right. So mass substitutions here, coming up to the 60th minute. That should be fine. Looks like they're controlling the possession against us. We might be able to hit them with a counterattack if they're doing this business, because defense is obviously not working. Defense is just not working. So we'll go counterattack. We'll try to hit them where they live. Oops, that didn't work. Skip. Instructions. Counter. More. Early. Higher. Go. Higher, faster, stronger is what I like to call that. Here we go. Stewart and Yates are not playing well. Okay. So we'll bring in Mason and Sedgwick. Right, Sedgwick is our advanced play. No, he's advanced playmaker. So Hastings. Hastings is a poacher, I think. Yeah, that's fine. We can do some poaching. Not much else is working. 6-0, which is no good. Not entirely unexpected, but still a little disappointing. No good. Our young goalkeeper is just getting shellacked. Maybe we should bring in our even younger goalkeeper. He's sort of the opposite of Hanks. You know, he's all sort of eccentricity, and his aerial reach is even worse. Rushing out, even more crazy. 13. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna lose, right? What do we got to lose? We're already losing by 7. I guess we could try to avoid losing by 8. But, you know, what does that really get us? I think, you know, maybe the chairman will yell at us or the board or something like that. Looks like Humphrey's our last man to replace. Bring in Flint. I like Flint. He's a good player. 22 years old, good strength, decent jumping ability. But he's got a lot to learn in other areas, and his attitude is abysmal. So let's give him a pep talk. Passionate. No. Calm. Passionate. Show me why you should be on the team. He doesn't care. So, 76th minute, we'll see if we can avoid losing by 8. Maybe we could get a goal. That could boost morale a little bit. If we could get one stinking goal. Let's see, there's a good steal by Love in the counterattack. Nobody home on the counterattack. We go Lindsay firing the ball. What? The striker didn't even go for that. Not that he would have got it, but that was a dramatic dive by Bentley. I appreciate that you haven't had much effort to much action today, so you got to do whatever you can, but that was a little dramatic. There's some good counterattacking here. Hastings, can you get us on the board? No. Good try, though. I appreciate that attempt. Here we go with a corner kick. Who's taking it? Pond. Amelia Pond. Probably not, but, you know, I guess it could be Rory, right? No. Is that how that works? I don't know if that's how that worked. Doctor Who. And there's the final whistle. Not good. 7-0. Tell the players they played well and are making progress towards the start of the season. I will not tell them that. Luckily, that was only friendly. You will need to be much better. There we go. So the substitutes didn't care at all. I guess it only affects the starters. But that fired them up. Little bit of a fire underneath them. So our key player, Mr. McGann George, had only a 6.6 rating. That's no good. Judge kind of torched us a little bit. 1 goal, 2 assists, 9.4 rating. Beat us pretty badly. We only had 7 shots, 4 on target, as opposed to they had 22 shots, 15 on target. They scored 51, or they had 51% possession. So they really just manhandled us that game. And there we go. There's our first match that we've shown you. UK, Lancing United UK, outclassed by Brentford. There's no doubt about that. So we'll take a look at the schedule here, see if there are any other interesting games coming up. We got an away game against Case Sport. Who are these guys? Lower league guys. I think most of the rest of our matches are against lower league guys. Just to sort of, you know, we need to start building fitness going forward. So that might be it for the preseason. I think we'll come back for our opening match of the Vanarama South against Dartford. Yeah, they got some nice jerseys. They got a full squad, so that's good for them. Don't know much about these guys. My scouting is terrible. But they look pretty good. I mean, they got a lot of double-digit possibilities on these players. So it could be a tough match, but you know what? We're going to persevere. So that's it for episode 2. Learning the ropes here of English football from the ground up. An American football manager in London. See you next time. Bye.